So we've all been watching HBO's House of the Dragon, and if you're like me, you are completely disgusted with Alicent Hightower and Sir Criston Cole. Not because they're currently in a really stupid, ill-fated romance, but because they're such rank, self-righteous hypocrites. Remember in season 1, they both fell out spectacularly with Rhaenyra because of her very brief one-night stand with Criston. What Rhaenyra meant as just a brief fling meant much more to him. And the only reason she got with him in the first place was because her uncle lover got her all hot and bothered. And for her, she was thinking about Damon the whole time. And for him, this was true love. As he explained, he doesn't come from much. And the only thing of value he has to his name is his honor. And he believes he's besmirched it by sleeping with her, despite his vows of celibacy as a Kingsguard. So to redeem himself, he thought if he marries her and sails away to Essos as exiles, he'll be good. And this is a ridiculous notion, obviously, and he's a ridiculous person, because for one, Rhaenyra never said she wanted to marry him.
Daddy, chill.
She never said she loved him. It was just a one-time thing. She was open to continuing it, but it wasn't this sweeping love affair for her. And number two, his whole pitch to her was, hey, princess, I've been on ships. I've seen boxes of cinnamon and sausages, or apples, or whatever. I'm a man of the world. Marry me and we'll be cinnamon sellers, and that way we'll get to be together. And it was so funny because she looked at him like he was out of his mind. She was so confused because you have to be crazy to say something that stupid. And I was looking at him like she's a princess, a royal princess of the blood, the owner of a dragon, and heir to a vast, powerful, wealthy kingdom. You really think she's never seen cinnamon before? The idea that she was supposed to give all of that up for a man she wasn't even that crazy about to begin with is laughable. Super selfish, there's something wrong with him. In his head, this was Romeo and Juliet, which is fitting because that was a story of two horned up idiots who fed off of each other's stupidity and caused a bunch of mayhem, which is exactly what would have happened if they'd run off to Essos. Viserys would have had to hunt them down. They wouldn't get very far because of Rhaenyra's platinum blonde hair, her dragon, and the fact that her father is a king. Rhaenyra would have been ruined, disinherited, and exiled, and Criston executed. All of that drama and pain for literally no reason other than Christian's selfishness. Although it's a beautifully written story, because Shakespeare is a genius, the two characters are idiots. It's not some sweeping story about two star-crossed lovers. It's a tale of two idiots doing idiotic things, which is why I thought of them when I was watching this nonsense. And honestly, this is also why vows of celibacy are kind of stupid in my opinion for anybody who isn't ace. It's just not practical or realistic for the vast majority of people. We have perfectly normal biological urges. Acting on them consensually should not be a cause of all this drama. It's also doubly stupid because of the double standard around women having any SE actual autonomy. Men in this world can freely go to brothels, take mistresses, father bastards, and even grape people with no consequences. But oh no, a woman has a consensual encounter and the sky is falling. Ooh. He would not be the first member of the Kingsguard to break his vows. In Dance of the Dragons, the fifth book, I believe, in the Song of Ice and Fire series, Sir Barristan Selmy tells Quentyn Martell that his great-uncle Lewin Martell had a mistress. He was a member of the Kingsguard, he was a close personal friend of Prince Rhaegar, and yet he had a mistress. He was a good person, he had an honorable reputation, people liked him, and yet he had a mistress because he's a human being with needs. All of this drama is not necessary. So, okay, Criston, you slept with her. She wasn't into it. Bummer. Just don't say anything about it to anybody and just move on. Nope. He decides to crash all the way out about it. He immediately folds and confesses to Alicent under zero pressure, unalives a man in cold blood, and then almost self-deletes. He's an emotionally unstable, melodramatic piece of work, not operating with the full deck. Elevator did not go all the way to the top. Alicent, on the other hand, fell out with her best friend in the entire world for the crime of having relations, which A, was none of her business, and B, is rich coming from the person who married her best friend's dad. Like, relax, Judgy. The two of them have been nursing the most monster of grudges against Rhaenyra for something that just wasn't that serious, trying to make it seem like she's a total bop. She'd been with Criston Cole, Harwin Strong, Laenor Valerian, and Daemon Targaryen. That's a whopping 4 men. Two of them were her husbands. One was a longtime lover. And that makes her the whore of Babylon? It's so really rich and so freaking hypocritical to see the two of them getting it on, illicitly, especially since their affair comes with real consequences. They were together the night that Jaehaerys was unalived. Perhaps if Sir Criston Cole was doing his job as the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, he would have been able to prevent the tragedy. But nope, he was too busy banking the king's mom. One of Alicent's redeeming qualities is that she at least feels guilty for her behavior. She does terrible things, but she feels bad for it later. And she tries to seek absolution by going to her father and confessing. And he's like, for the love of all that is pure and holy, shut the hell up. We're in the middle of a war here. Enough, Melrose Place. And her daughter, Helena, who's so sweet and so forgiving, is like, look, we're good. It's fine. Criston's crazy ass, on the other hand, just cannot handle big feelings, like at all. And since energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but transformed from one form to another, he has to make someone else feel the shame and guilt that he does. Classic case of projection. So he goes to Sir Eric, a member of the King's Guard, unjustly puts the blame on him, forces him to agree to an idiotic plan of infiltrating Dragonstone and unaliving Rhaenyra, which ended horrifically in Eric being unalived by his twin brother Eric, who then self-deleted in grief and despair. This was a doomed mission. There was literally no chance that Eric would have survived this, even if he did end up unaliving Rhaenyra. But Criston doesn't care. This is how he deals with big feelings, by making someone else the bad guy and then demonizing that person. We saw him do it with Rhaenyra, and now with poor Eric. All of that horror and all of that pain just because he doesn't know how to regulate his own emotions. Alicent is a lot harder to dislike because she at least tries to do the right thing, even if she falls far short of it. But Criston doesn't even bother. Seethe and rage, crash and burn, brood and bitch. It's like those are his only emotions. That's what makes it so fun to hate watch them this season. They're two broken, tortured people in a really screwed up relationship that we all know is not going to end well. And just a side note, the acting is fantastic. Criston Cole is the character I love to hate, like, obviously. But the actor who plays him, Fabian so-and-so, he is acting his ass off. He really made me want to punch him this season, and that's world class. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I really want to know what you guys think. Do you agree with me that Criston is literally the worst? Do you like Alicent? How much did you ugly cry when that Eric and Eric scene happened? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, this has been your girl, Nifty Sphinx. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell button. Also, as a quick side note, I understand that Fabian Frankel, the guy who plays Criston Cole, he's been getting a ton of really mean, bullying, threatening comments online to the point that he's had to shut down his social media pages. Guys, come on. Like, yes, we all hate Criston Cole, but we love to hate Criston Cole because it's hilarious. He's awful, he's terrible, but he's not real, right? Fabian Frankel is real. And he gets hurt by our words, guys. Come on. Our feelings surely are valid, but our behavior can be batshit crazy, okay? It's important to remember that moving forward. All right, I love you guys. Okay.